Hi, my name is Kirsten Malone, and today I will be sharing with you a Mediator training plan for educational assistance on most to least prompting. Before we get too far into the content, I will ask that your cell phone is turned off and in your bag to limit any distractions for this training session. Are we good?
Yeah.
Perfect. What is a mediator, you might ask? A mediator is someone in a child's life, like a parent, caregiver, or teacher, who implements behavioral change procedures directly with the individual with autism. In this scenario, the mediator is an educational assistant from an autism spectrum disorder classroom, with the client being one of the educational assistant students. The mediator objective in this training session is as follows. The mediator will engage in most-to-least prompting strategy with the students when the student is engaging in a printing task. The mediator will be able to choose the appropriate prompt strategy and fade the level of support with 80% accuracy across 2 consecutive sessions. There are many benefits to mediator training. Since the educational assistants are a major part of the learner's life on a daily basis, they will be able to evoke desirable behaviors in the learner, such as printing tasks. Training educational assistants is also valuable in regard to spreading the wealth, which means training others in the learner's environment to implement behavioral interventions, since the child will not always be with a behavior therapist. Lastly, the educational assistant interacts with the learner in the learner's natural environment, which is the classroom, and teaching skills in the learner's natural environment is important so stimulus control can occur in non-clinical settings and the learner can engage in desirable behaviors outside of therapy. This objective is also important since printing skills are a socially significant skill for the learner to obtain. Being able to print will increase learner independence, self-reliance, and provide increased opportunities for engagement in their future. Now we will focus on how to implement most of these prompting procedures. The mediator objective, as I previously mentioned to you, is that the mediator will engage in least to most prompting strategy with the student when the student is engaged in printing tasks. The mediator will be able to choose the appropriate prompt strategy and fade the level of support with 80% accuracy across 2 consecutive sessions. You might be asking yourself, what is prompting? Prompting is an antecedent stimulus given before or during the performance of a behavior which ensures a specific behavior occurs. Prompting is used to transfer stimulus control from a stimulus that will reliably evoke the desired response, the prompt, to a stimulus which will control the response when no prompts occur, which in this case is the verbal instruction of do your printing task. Now we will focus on choosing an appropriate prompt. We want to choose the least intrusive prompt that will be successful in evoking the desirable behavior. That's important to keep in mind. If the prompt that you choose is not evoking the desired behavior, you will have to increase the prompt to be more intrusive to ensure it does evoke the behavior. Since you know your learner best, it's effective to keep in mind what type of prompt you think will be most effective with your learner based on your past experience with them. And also, keep in mind the end goal, which is the learner responding with no prompt at all and just the discriminative stimulus, which in this case is the verbal instruction to do your printing task. You might also be thinking, so what exactly is most to least prompting? Most to least prompting is a procedure where assistance to the learner gradually decreases until no prompting occurs. The first prompt we use is the most intrusive prompt, which reliably evokes the desired behavior from the learner. Over time, the prompt decreases in intrusiveness until there is no prompt being used. It's important to remember that we will be reinforcing the correct behavior. It's important to reinforce the learner's correct behavior whether or not it was prompted. Differential reinforcement occurs when we give more reinforcement for engaging in the behavior with less to no prompts and less reinforcement to respond with more prompts. With this procedure, we will be using differential reinforcement. Now I will inform you of how to implement most of these prompting with fading procedures for printing tasks. The discriminative stimulus we will want the end goal to be for the learner will be do your printing tasks. Across prompts, we will gradually decrease how intrusive it is, and we will always pair the prompt with this verbal instruction. First, we will say, do your printing task and engage in a full physical prompt where our hand guides the students on the printing task. We will reinforce the learner with a verbal praise and one small sticker. Once the learner is successful in engaging in this across 2 consecutive trials, we will fade the prompt. Next, we will say, do your printing task and simply touch the student's hand, and we will reinforce this with verbal praise and a small sticker again. Once the student is successful in this across 2 consecutive trials, we will fade the prompt again by saying, do your printing task, but simply just point to the printing task in front of them. And here we will give them a medium-sized sticker, since the prompting taking place is less intrusive than the previous two prompts. Once the learner is successful in engaging in this across two consecutive trials, we will say, do your printing task, which is a discriminative stimulus for the desired behavior. And here, we will reinforce a learner with a verbal praise and a large sticker, since they engaged in the task without any prompt. Here, the learner is contacting the highest level of reinforcement. It's important for us to fade prompt so the learner does not become prompt dependent, which means the learner is only engaging in the correct response in the presence of the prompt and not the discriminative stimulus. It is also important to fade prompt to transfer stimulus control from the prompt to the natural stimulus, which would be the verbal instruction to the learner to do the printing task. Do you have any questions at this point?
Yes, so my first question is, it sounds like most TOEIC prompting is a fading procedure in itself, is that correct?
It is, yes. So it is a prompting procedure, but since we gradually decrease prompt till there is nothing, it is a fading procedure.
Okay, thank you. And then my second question is, you said that if the initial prompt is not intrusive enough to evoke the desired response, you need to make it more intrusive. Could you give me an example of this?
Sure. So for example, if the task for the student was to tie your shoe, maybe the verbal instruction tie your shoe isn't going to evoke the desired response. So you could simply point to their shoes, and if that's still not working, you could guide their hand to do a full physical hand-over-hand procedure for them to tie their shoes to evoke the response, and then gradually fade that over time.
Oh, okay.
Any other questions?
No, I'm good, thank you.
Great. So now I will demonstrate the correct target behavior, and you as the mediator will watch, and then you will imitate my demonstration. Do your printing task. Do your printing task. Great job on your printing task. Do your printing task. Do your printing task. Great job on your printing task. Do your printing task. Do your printing task. Great job. Do your printing task. Do your printing task. Great job on your printing task. Do your printing task. Do your printing task. Great job. Do your printing task. Do your printing task. Great job. Do your printing task. Excellent job on your printing task. Do your printing task. Great job on your printing task. Okay, so now we'll continue with you as the mediator, rehearsing it on me to make you feel comfortable engaging in that. Do your printing task. Do your printing task. Great job on your printing task. Do your printing task. Do your printing task. Great job on your printing task. Do your printing task. Do your printing task. Great job. Do your printing task. Do your printing task. Great job. Do your printing task.
Great job. Do your printing task. Do your printing task. Great job. Do your printing task. Great. Do your printing task. Great job.
All right, that was excellent. Great effort, and you delivered the reinforcement immediately, which is very important. So again, I think we'll practice one more time with you rehearsing on me just to make sure you feel comfortable in that. Does that sound good?
Yep, sure.
Okay.
Oh, I didn't have to move it. Okay. Do your printing task. Do your printing task. Great job. Do your printing task. Do your printing task. Great job. Do your printing task. Do your printing task. Awesome. Do your printing task. Do your printing task. Great job. Do your printing task. Do your printing task. Awesome. Do your printing task. Do your printing task. Awesome. Do your printing task. Awesome. Do your printing task. Great job. There you go, look at all your stickers.
Perfect. So again, that was a really excellent job. You delivered the reinforcement right away. The instruction was very clear, easy to understand, so that was a really great job. After observing you in this session, I would say you're proficient to independently do this procedure with students. And then, since the session's over now, we'll plan a follow-up meeting 1 month from now to review your progress and address any questions or concerns you might have regarding your implementation of multi-use prompting.